I smell fresh ink, guys. Now, you can prove all this. What am I asking? Of course you can.
We have witnesses. Grissom's signature is perfectly legitimate.
It is legitimate. I saw it. I was there. I saw it all. He reached up with his dead hand and signed it in his own blood. And he did it with this pen. Hello, Vinny. It's your Uncle Bingo. Time to pay the check. The pen is truly mightier than the sword.
You're listening to Batman on Film, Batman 89, chapter by chapter. I am your host, BOF Legacy member, Justin Kowalski. And with me today is the Harvey Dent to my Lieutenant Eckhart, Mr. Pete Verra. How you doing, Pete?
I'm so glad I'm not Eckhart.
I'm
I'd rather be handsome Harvey.
Handsome Harvey. They actually didn't cross paths in this film. I was just trying to think of two characters in the film that don't get the spotlight all the time.
No,
you know?
Eckhart dies pretty early.
Yeah, he does. Which do you think Eckhart? I mean, maybe this is a conversation we've had or people have talked about. Should have been Bullock.
Bullock?
Yeah,
Bullock. I've never heard anyone pronounce. I never heard
Bullock.
That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
I've always thought it was Bullock.
maybe it's right. It's East
Interesting.
Coast,
I've never
West
heard
Coast.
anyone pronounce Bullock. Okay.
Well, I say Todd McFarlane, and you're all it's McFarlane.
I say McFarlane. Yeah,
I say McFarlane.
McFarlane. Okay.
Yeah, Todd McFarlane.
All right. Interesting.
Let us know, friends.
That's your California accent.
Hey, I don't know. That's what it is.
That's the Sacramento accent.
It's the Sacramento's like 12 hours from me. Pete thinks everything in California, one of the biggest states in the nation.
Yeah, like
30 minutes away.
California's got to be like the tri-state area, right? You guys got all these sports teams, and they're all like an hour away from each other.
Not at all, man. Like Sacramento is like a whole other like town. Like if you live in Sacramento, you probably wash your hands 3 times a day. That's about it, right?
Interesting.
There's nothing good going on in Sacramento.
Okay, Deathstroke. Anyway.
All right. Anyway, so we're gonna continue on in our chapter by chapter series. It's been a while. It's been since March, you guys, but it gave us time to build some
we've been rewatching the scene.
We've been watching this scene over and over and over for months. Yeah. So we the last time we were here in Anton First's Gotham City, we did the scene. I'm glad you're dead. So Jack Napier, aka the Joker, just told Grissom's crime bosses that he's in charge now, and that he's going to handle business from here on out. And so we're going to pick up there. We did have an interlude episode with FJ DeSanto where we kind of talked about Batmania from 1989, that summer of magic. And kind of, we were kind of hoping, it's kind of weird. We were kind of hoping we were going to hit a resurgence this summer as Michael Keaton returned in The Flash.
That was the complete opposite. No one even knew it happened.
Opposite, except for merchandise. Go try to find a Michael Keaton action figure. It's going to be really hard.
I got a Keaton pop right here.
There you go.
Damaged.
It was hard to get, I bet.
Yeah,
not easy.
It was not easy.
Yeah, so Michael Keaton, I think if things were different, if we were in a different multiverse, it probably would have done gangbusters. He didn't get to do any talk show circuits or things like that. You know, the writer's strike is causing those types of things not to happen. So, anywho, regardless, we're moving forward. We're still celebrating Michael Keaton because he is the first cinematic Batman. Adam West was the first TV Batman. and who ended up in a movie. But we're going to celebrate Michael Keaton today. So we're going to pick back
First
up.
dark and serious cinematic.
Yes,
Batman.
the first dark and serious Batman. So right now we're going to head into our next time code of minutes. Again, we're not going chapters based on Blu-ray, DVDs, digital stuff, because there's like 150 chapters. So what we're doing is we're picking up at about, what was the time code again?
It's basically 47 minutes to 50 minutes even.
Yeah, that's about right. Right where, Vicky's very upset.
Mm-hmm.
Wise, where's he going?
And we get one of the better scenes in the movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So about 45 to 50. And so we're going to take this chunk to check it out. So this whole scene kicks off. Vicky is wondering where the heck is he going? She just got stood up by Bruce. He said that, I'm not going to be there, going away. Alfred kind of doesn't play along, he's not really aware. And so we'll be here, Miss Vale. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So she's upset.
So she's looking through the files.
Yeah. She's looking through all the files. Like, what's going on?
She's got the microfiche out. That's how that's how you know it's serious.
Mm-hmm.
When they go, well, not really. She's going through the drawers here, but eventually they get the microfiche out at some point. But her and Knox have some back and forth. Like Knox is like, hey, I'm trying to find Batman. What are you doing over there? And she's like, I'm all about Bruce Wayne. So little do they know.
That was actually a funny like little line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, stop worrying about Bruce
I'm
Wayne.
on the Batman. Yeah,
I never really caught that. Like, when I first watched that, like rewatching it is what you kind of like, you get that little fun, that little take.
And then, Vicky goes full stage 5 cling creep mode. She's following Bruce around. She gets the D one night, and all of a sudden she's a clinger. She can't. She's following around basically to his parents' grave. This is where it kind of gets interesting, I guess, for Vic.
Well, yeah, she's driving. And here's the thing: she's driving her. What is it? She's driving her little Ford Probe. I don't know what the heck she's driving, dude. Like Bruce doesn't see that. The same car that was parked at his spot last night. He's just, it's not that big of a deal.
The thing, the Keaton Batman, he kind of has like tunnel vision. Like when he's focused on one thing, that's all that really matters to him. He kind of blocks everything out really well. He's right now he's in full like mourn mode. So he's not paying attention. He's like, who's following him here into, crime alley? Like there's no one, there's no one really around. Like no one hangs out here. Yeah. If you look at it, like they did a great job making this look like, the corner that time forgot.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great set. I do love, Bruce kind of taking off on his own. He doesn't have a driver. He's going to do his own thing,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Vicky definitely is in scorned, jealous girlfriend mode, big time.
Oh yeah, she definitely. She's in love. Let's be honest. Vicky Vale is absolutely in love with Bruce Wayne here.
Angry and in love.
And I got to say, I am in love with her little hat. Like I was like, okay, Picasso, get over here. Like all of a sudden they turn into Pepe Le Pew. Oh man, yes, hello, yes, me real French, yes, but me real French.
Yeah, I wonder if that became like a huge fashion, like kind of trend in '89. Like ladies were like, I'm gonna wear a Vicky Vale, like oversized floppy beret.
Right, Kim Basinger was I believe she was a model, so I would imagine, right?
Oh. Well, Vicky gets upset and obsessed, and she starts following Bruce. So we don't even know. Like as a viewer, we're kind of like, "Well, where's Bruce going? He's got his shades on. He's kind of on a mission." And then it's kind of hard watching this.
Good, man.
Yeah, this is actually like when I hit you up, I was like, it's kind of a slow scene, but it's actually really good.
Which is funny because like I'm watching, I'm like, this is like one of the best parts of the movie.
Well, you're right, especially after you've seen it and you kind of know the importance of like this alley and like what's going on. I think if you're a first time watcher, which ironically, my son had a little party last night and he always wants to watch Batman '89. He's 10, turning 11. He had some buddies over and 3 of them have never seen this film and they're enthralled, man. They watched the whole thing and they were just like, wait,
it's very captivating. You get caught up in this mythical.
They're like, when's he going to be Batman again? When's he going to be Batman again? And they thought Alicia was Harley Quinn. They're like, is she going to be Harley Quinn?
That's funny. I mean, I thought that as a kid.
Yeah. So, but anywho, so he drops the roses, signifying, his parents' death. And then he just kind of goes about town. Bruce Wayne, man about town. Just, I'm going to check out City Hall. So,
yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if you're he's just walking around. To me, it's like, it's not really that crazy because like I'm walking around, I could walk around Manhattan and no one will give me, about an eye. So he just walk around the city, and then when he ends up at City Hall and all the gangsters try to outsmart Napier, and then and then he pops up with this mime gimmick, and I love this. With the feather and the dramatics, and this is Jack, like just totally top of his game.
Yeah.
He's dancing, smiling. He's got the little funny wave with the fingers. I love every minute of it.
I want to rewind a little bit because you get Knox and you get him Knox is known around the reporter crowd kind of as I don't know if he's like a wise ass. He's kind of like, yeah, and he's kind of bold, the stuff that he says to the crime bosses. And who's this guy? What the heck's the guy? Is it Carmine? Is that what he called him?
I forget what his name is. You do a little time together as children.
Yeah. It's so good.
It's a good line,
Yeah. But so basically the gangsters, they come out and they say that they're taking over for Grissom while he's out, and that's where Knox is like, you guys must have been close.
Yeah.
Do a little time together. And so anyways, Vicky shows up. Bruce is there watching.
And he looks absolutely miserable. Like he's just completely.
Well, he's like, what the heck's going on, man?
Yeah.
And
he's confused, and just the mimes are pissing him off.
Yeah. Like, what the heck, because I think he's there almost like reconnaissance, like, okay, he's has to know that there's a press conference going on with Grissom's men, and he's like, I know what's going on with Grissom, right? And
he's Batman, for crying out loud. He's been on Grissom's the biggest thing in town.
Yeah. And so here's the other thing. This is, for me, when people say there was not enough detective work, dude, this is Bruce Wayne doing detective work right here.
In plain sight.
Yeah, in plain sight. He's getting like details. He's kind of getting like the intel, like trying to figure out like what's going on. Because even later on in the film, like you get the whole Jack Napier's still alive. It's because of this scene.
Well, yeah, he notices him in the limo. He recognizes the face.
Yeah, well, he's like, well, I just saw him drop into the... But yeah, so these mimes, he's starting to feel it's weird. You got Bob taking photos.
Oh, God. Isn't he Tracy in the fedora with the camera? Amazing. Oh.
Yeah. So this is the line, though, like where the it is legitimate. And so like that's when Jack shows up.
This is perfect. This is all vintage Joker here. Just he reached up with his cold dead hand, signed it in his blood with this pen, and then he, like that's definitive Joker stuff, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's
wild
because I love the Joker debate, Jack or Heath, like because it's basically like, it's like Tyson versus Ali, like it's like all time greats versus all time greats. So it's like it's so much fun to have. It's like it's not like someone coming out of left field and being like, some crazy whack job on Twitter. Yeah. Like when you have this debate, it's a legitimate debate. Like to me, the Jack Joker and stuff like this pretty much signifies he's like that perfect, like I want to say 70s Joker, evil, but he's kind of got a little bit of funny to him,
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, he's got the crazy too. So evil, funny, crazy. It's so unsettling. What the thing here that no one's ever addressed it. You know how they addressed like him wiping the makeup off of his face, like those scenes, how they did it. This one, I'm like, what? It's such a unique take, like the black and white, and then the even the eyebrows are done a certain way, and the lips are whited out. That always threw me off as a kid because I was like, wait, isn't his skin bleached out? So what's going on?
I have no idea. I don't know. I actually don't know.
If you know, let us know, because I don't know.
Because then he goes literally the next scene is what's it called? What kind of world do we live in? Blah, blah, blah. And he looks like the normal Joker.
Yeah.
But in this one he, I don't know. Does he do his own makeup? Is it white to an extent? I have no idea.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to blend in with the whole mime situation, like king of the mimes. But yeah, so that's when he gives his whole spiel about the he signed it with this pen, and he calls him, "Hey, Vinny," right? He calls that guy Vinny.
Uncle Bingo.
Yeah, time to pay the check. Dude stabs him right in the throat. Like that's a bold move right there in front of everybody at City Hall. There's like police officers there. Like they're like, what the heck's going on? Pen is truly magic in the story.
At this point is really trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, like, next scene gets even more interesting because even no matter what he does, Batman just upstages him.
Yeah.
So through, he's trying to make himself known, and he's trying to prove that he's the big baller in town. And he did it with the show, and he did it with theatrics and flair. And that's what I love about this Joker. Like, there's this one shot right when Jack walks up the steps. It's an overhead shot of the courthouse, and you just see the mimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's that's like an army of dudes, and one of them's got like an ice cream little wagon, which is really funny, but like there's a gang. It's like this gang is surrounding the media and these mafia bosses and the police and everything, and it's like everyone's kind of helpless to them because then they just start open fire, and there goes Casual Jack down the stairs.
Yeah, and so what's really cool about this, again, it shows how, I don't know if it shows how crazy or how brave Bruce Wayne is, because he gets clipped. I mean, the mimes open fire.
He's focused.
He's focused.
Tunnel vision, like I said. He's zoned in on Jack.
Yeah, I love how you say that. I love, because it's like he's coming to the realization of like, that's Jack. Mm-hmm. Shoot, But I'm wondering if he wears any type of body armor. If he wears body armor under the suit, but I mean, he doesn't get shot. But
if you're according to the action figures, yes, I believe so, right?
Yeah, right.
According to Quick Change Bruce Wayne, yes.
It is interesting though how he does. He just gets shot in the coat, kind of goes through, and he just keeps walking right up to the car.
Well, back in those days, they had those shoulder pads in the coat, so it kind of props it up a little bit, so it's a little off the skin.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Bill from Batman on Film. Let's take a short break on this episode of Batman on Film, chapter by chapter, for these words from our sponsors.
And I love the exchange, and there's not even words, it's this visual, like, physical exchange between Vicky and Bruce, where she, like, grabs him. He looks at her like, "Well, oh, suck," and then looks back at the car.
He does that a lot in this scene. Like, he does it with the mimes. And it's part of the reason why he was cast as Batman is he does a lot of acting with the eyes.
Yeah.
You know what he's thinking. You could almost hear what he's saying just by looking at his face.
Yeah. I'm glad there was no exchange. Like, can you imagine her like, "Where were you? What are you doing in the alley?" Like, you don't need any of it. His face says everything.
Well, that's one of the cool things about Keaton's Batman is it seems like Keaton always took out dialogue from the script. And even Daniel Waters at one point in Batman Returns was like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense, but just like, he would say less here. Yeah. I think Keaton was really good at getting in Batman's head and like what Batman would do. Also,
like, I don't have to remember all these lines now. I just look at her, be annoyed, be like, "What are you doing here? Go."
That's it. That's why he's the GOAT.
Yeah, he just takes off. Like, yeah, it's cool. So, when I watch scenes like this, I always think like about when I was a kid, and I always wanted Batman mime, like, action figure guys. Like, man, they really biffed it. I'm like, you don't have a lot of play coming out of these movies. You get 3 versions of Joker, or if you have the Toy Biz, you get a Bob, and that's it. I was like, oh man, how cool would it have been? You could have got a variant, like in the age of variants, you could have got variant.
Imagine
Joker.
what Todd McFarlane would have done in 1989.
You would have had this top hat mime Joker. You would have had,
regular Joker,
beret Joker, beret art Joker.
He would have sold the parade. Todd would have made the float. McFarlane would make the float.
That's what we got to do. We're going to do a chapter by chapter episode where we just talk about cool stuff like from then or even now. Like, we can just talk about some of the cool 89 stuff that's come out because there's so much of it. And
I've actually with the Flash out, I've had a lot of fun adding to my 89 Returns collection.
Yeah,
that Keaton era.
That's like my favorite. I think that's my favorite stuff to collect. I'm going to get that belt from NECA.
NECA. I want it too because it explains that it's actually functional.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, like outside of the grapnel gun, you're like, what is the belt? What is the purpose of the belt? Like, there's no pouches.
Yeah,
it looks great because it separates the suit a little bit. I enjoy that. That's kind of like why I think Superman needs trunks, but that's a different debate.
It's a different story. So, anywho, like, so this is a good 5 minutes of film, and I was completely wrong when I hit you up. I was like, it's kind of dull. You get her being upset, but I think one of the better performances in here is just Knox, like balancing being freaking upset. He's disappointed. He wants Vicky to give him attention. He's also so desperate to break this story.
He's got to realize that ship sailed.
Yeah, but he also is like, okay, I want to prove like who Batman is, and I'm in the midst of like, he's excited. He's like, what is going on? Like with the gang and Grissom. Like he's that guy. He's hungry for the story.
He doesn't know if his partner is in love or focused on work, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and she needs to be, dude. She needs to be
She needs that picture of the Batman in order.
That's all. He's all, take the photos. What are you doing? Yeah. That's funny. So, hey, and here's the cool thing. It's another good use of the Anton first sets. The reality is they had a few set pieces and they reused them over and over and over and over.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people make fun of returns and say returns happen basically on like one set. Mm-hmm. Everything kind of happens within that like Christmas tree, Shrek's department store area. It was like everything either happens in front of City Hall or in front of the Monarch Theater in '89.
Yeah, it's right. They got their money's worth. But it's such a great piece. Like
it just looked. Everything from the dirt and the grime and the paper on the floor, like on the streets, like it looks like a wonderful dingy city. Like it looks like New York City before Giuliani.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of like the 70s New York or early 80s New York. That was kind of like the kind of the ethos of it. Especially in those early shots of the city where it's just really packed and stuff. So
that is like, to be honest, like I miss this. I love movies shot on studio like backlots.
Oh, really?
Like I do. It just like that's like when I think of like movies, like green screen movies. Like don't worry, I'm not gonna hate on CGI like everyone.
Yeah.
But like I rather would have a set in a studio, in a giant sound stage, with a set piece than just standing in front of a green screen.
Yeah, I mean, I actually it was last year. We went to Warner Brothers and we got to tour the lot. It was cool seeing like the different spots, and they say how they dress it up for different movies. And every studio uses it too, because we saw the place where Mary Jane kissed Spider-Man upside down. That was filmed at Warner Brothers, and they said they use glycerin for the rain. So when you film it, it looks like slow and everything. Anyways, but like they also filmed Batman Forever on that lot.
Cool.
And they start talking and you're like, oh, and you start seeing it, but they just dress it differently. They paint things all the time. Like they change it up. Yeah, but it is cool. It's like, man, you go on these studio tours, like it's probably harder and harder for them to have anything that's modern, because everything else is shot on green screen when it comes to certain things. And they even said like, hey, we'll use some parts of this and they'll green screen the backgrounds to like place it into something, but they have their New York City area, which is what they used for like Spider-Man and Batman Forever. But yeah, man, what you're saying is right. There's like the magic of the studio is kind of fun.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Like I don't know, like I think it looks more realistic than any CGI you could even try to do. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I saw some of that Batcave that they filmed for the Flash. That looked really cool. A lot of that was real.
Yeah.
I was like, some of it they probably.
I love when they do those Batcaves, because then it's like, oh, how do they make it look like he's like in this gigantic, like, how does it make it look like he's got like a lake in the Batcave? And it's like, we just paint it black.
Yeah.
it's like a 1/4 inch deep. It's just some water and you just paint it black. And I was like, oh wow, it's interesting. I love the movie magic type stuff.
Yeah. It's fun. Anyways, I just love that set. I just wanted to kind of mention, like, even Bruce walking down the streets, it just all looks good. And to me, like, it looks real. It actually looks like,
doesn't it look like it just rained? Like it looks like it's like kind of like a storm just passed, like maybe a sun shower or something. Like I don't know.
Well, and I think that's what's important about having sets, and you can control like what do you want it to look like and the feel, and it helps with the whole mood, the dreariness of that whole scene. So, I love it, dude. Big freaking, I don't know, you know what that is? A big base in the ground, like when she's following after him in the streets. It's funny. There's like fruit stands in the background. There's such a lot. There's just a lot of cool visual things in there that like we probably skip over when you just kind of watch it. But like as we kind of scrub through, I'm like, yeah, they did such a good job creating Gotham, man. And so even like a smaller scene like this feels great. And I love that Crime Alley. Like even though they don't call it Crime Alley, we know it's Crime Alley. It's so empty. It's like, why would you even go over there? Like the contrast from like, the flashback where it was busy.
It looks like it's just a part of town that no one ever. It's just a corner that people forgot.
Yeah, and so they had to probably dress that up twice. You have the contemporary like now version of it, and then you have when the flashback, it's a little more glitzed out. So, yeah. But yeah, man, that's good stuff here as we continue on with chapter by chapter. Pete, you have any other thoughts about this section?
You get a lot of good stuff in this section, actually, a lot more than I thought you'd get. You get some good Bruce Wayne moments. You get some cool Batman Incognito moments. You get some great Joker moments, and you find out just how clingy Vicky Vale is.
Yeah. You kind of blown my mind a little bit on your like, he's like Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton is an aloof, laser focused Batman.
Yeah.
Like he knows what he's doing. It's not like he's unaware. He's just like he's laser focused. Like so little things can like get by him and not things that like don't matter, like whatever, Vicky's following me like that. He's probably like, she's gonna have a problem with this, whatever. I don't care right now. I gotta take care of the flower thing. And then I'm gonna head over to City Hall. Like he knew his itinerary for the day. He knew he was gonna do that and then check out what Grissom's situation was about so he can write some stuff down. And then all of a sudden Vicky's there like, oh, Vicky, okay, fine. And he just looks at her like, what? Why are you here? Why are you here?
That's the pen is truly mightier than the sword.
That's right. That's the quote. That's what she said.
He's like, what?
Oh man. All right. So for this episode, Pete, we got to name it. We got to name this episode.
The pen is truly mightier than the sword.
That's what I like it is legitimate.
If you want to, you could do that.
I know, but I wanted to like throw down. Like what? Why?
I think the pen is truly mightier than the sword is way more of an iconic line.
Oh, it is. But I think it is legitimate. Is like him, Joker's like publicly saying like, I am the real deal here. I'm here. I am taking over. It almost feels like
that's the passing of the torch.
Yeah. He's being subtle and he's trying to like sway, like he's trying to not sway, but like, act as if he has all this inside knowledge, which he does. But on this grand stage, it's like, I am legitimately here. I am the boss. I saw all this go down. Here I am. And it's so theatrical. It's this Joker,
it's
like
so theatrical.
Literally, he's literally on a stage, dude. He walks up the stairs to the platform where the mob bosses are.
High stepping.
He's high stepping in his high water pants. They're hiked up to his belly.
Are they checkered?
Yeah, it's black and white checkered. I don't know what you'd call those. So yeah, man, such a great scene. Good scene. Batman 89, full of great scenes. It's fun to
2 hours of great scenes.
Heck yeah, man.
It was tough to stop because the next scene following this is so much fun.
Oh, well, I can't wait. So we'll come back next week for the next scene. We're back, dude. We're just like Keaton. We're back.
But
back.
Will anyone pay attention to us?
Will anyone pay attention? Oh man. So we'll see. So, all right, Pete, we're gonna wrap it up here. Give us a little information about yourself. How can people find the infamous Peter?
You can find me on social media, Twitter, Instagram. I'm casually active on Vero. I know Snyder loves it. It's a great place. It's a wonderful place to hide.
Hey, Rebel Moon 2023.
It's a great place at Pete Illustrated. You can follow one of my podcasts. I do a podcast with the champion of Long Island, Eric Schlong Island Holzman. That is straight _O_G. Yes, Holzimont _G at Instagram and Twitter. We actually sell Halsey One t-shirts, so get them while they're hot. They're the only ones TeePublic won't take down. I don't think they can. It's a font.
Yeah.
So we have a Facebook group and a Facebook fan page. Consider following both. Justin's in both, and he likes having fun there. If you like the BOF group, you like our group. So check out my other podcast, the Italian Spider-Man Collision podcast, which is in the midst of a bit of a revamping. So as of right now, I got to hire an artist to get new work, aka Justin Kowalski. And you can find me on BatmanOnFilm.com and Batman on Film YouTube, and I got toy reviews and comic book reviews and all that stuff. And I just did a show with Ryan Haas. We just recorded a BOF podcast, so hopefully that'll get published. And we talked about Superman casting for Superman Legacy.
Oh, shoot.
And everyone's favorite topic on Twitter, Thomas Wayne Batman and how he could have saved the Flash movie.
Yeah, don't know about that.
Yeah, don't know about that. But me and Haas had some good Flash chatter overall, because I'm actually having a good time talking about the movie. I don't really hate it.
It's a fun movie.
I really enjoyed the movie, so I'm having a blast customizing my action figures and talking about the movie. I'm kind of, it's nice enjoying something that like it isn't like a worldwide phenomenon, in a way, because it's like, oh, I can enjoy this amongst myself. This is nice. This is cute. It's not.
There is something about having like kind of a cult classic under your belt. Like, hey, not everyone likes. Like I like Sky Captain in the World for Tomorrow. I love that movie.
Yeah,
no one likes that movie. I like that movie though.
So there you go.
Yeah, it's my little thing.
That's
I
it.
love it.
And I'm going to pass it off to you.
All right. You can find me on Twitter at Justin M. Kowalski, and you can find me here on these podcasts. You never know where I'm going to pop up. Typically here on Chapter by Chapter is where you'll find me, unless I am invited onto somebody else's podcast, doing a little guest stint. But I just want to reiterate, follow Pete Verra. He is like probably the busiest guy and knows his stuff.
I'm very busy
in fandom. He's busy, dude. He's on podcasts because he's got legit tastes and knowledge, and he's doing the work, guys. He's doing the work. I just listened to your Batman book club June episode with Ryan Lauer.
Oh yeah,
and, So
are you reading any of those books?
Not a one. The only one I want to read is the Tom King book that you didn't like.
Yeah, well, they're overpricing that book to put Batman on the title. That's a money grab. I'm not going to do it.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm reading these books, but I'm behind. I just wait for them to hit my DC universe, and I have Infinite. I don't have Ultra, so I don't get them right away. So I'm waiting.
Oh, there's tiers.
Yeah, if you do.
I actually read comic books.
Yeah, no, that's great. I don't have the time to go to the shop anymore and all that stuff. And so,
don't you have kids? Can't you tell them to do things?
Yeah, they can't drive to the shop though.
Then what good are they?
Right. We'll get there. Give them a couple more years. I'm 3 years away from legally driving anywhere, those guys. So, So anyways, follow me, follow Pete, rank the shows, leave good reviews on iTunes and all that stuff. But join the conversations on Facebook and Twitter. Some good peeps over here at BOF.
Oh, and buy Absolute 3 Jokers. It's on sale now.
Oh my God. I know. I was looking at it. I was like, I wish it was on sale on Amazon because I have a bunch of Amazon bucks and just waiting. It's still kind of high over there.
But it's still 50% off on in-stock trades.
I know. I don't have an in-stock trade gift card though. So I'm waiting it out.
Good luck.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh man, yeah, I can't wait. I mean, I already have the hardcover and all the issues, but
I do too. I have the Barnes and Noble exclusive. That's
what I have.
That book really hit me, man. Like when that book came out,
man, it's so beautiful.
It really hit me. The whole. I mean, it's funny because go back to Crime Alley when he forgives Joe Chill.
That scene, bro.
It's like people.
I didn't expect that.
3 Jokers is a stupid idea. You can't have 3 Jokers. I'm like, did you read the story?
Look at that thing, dude.
I had the cards and everything. Yep. I bought the variants. I went crazy. I went Rob Myers crazy before Rob Myers became, Mr.
I tried to get all the variants. I don't think I got all the covers. I tried to get them all, but some of them were just unavailable. So I don't even know what I have.
Except for the expensive Fabok ones. Some of them were crazy.
Oh, like the
125s.
Oh, the pencil art ones, or
there were some he did a couple cover variants, and some of them were very expensive.
Yeah, no, I just did like the direct variants. That's what I was getting.
Yeah, the main ones. I get you.
Yeah, there was like 9 of them or something. Anyways, all right, we're gonna wrap it up. That being said, follow us. Go over to BatmanOnFilm.com. Follow them online, Batman on Film, on all places. And you know what we like to say: Batman
watch
on
Gotham
Film.
Knights.
Oh, watch Gotham Knights, according to Pete. If you're listening to this podcast way later, as you're like just want to binge these chapters by chapters, and you're like, didn't that show come out like 3 years ago?
Yeah.
All right, Batman on Film, authoritative, definitive, the original. Dadgum original.
There you go.
Batman on Film.
You have been listening to Batman on Film, Chapter by Chapter, a BatmanOnFilm.com podcast revisiting the cinematic adventures of the Dark Knight, scene by scene, chapter by chapter. Follow Jet on Twitter at Batman on Film. For BOF news only, follow at the Batman on Film on Twitter. To become a BOF patron, go to patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm. To advertise on BOF, visit advertisecast.com/BatmanOnFilm. For Jet and Team BOF, I'm announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original. Batman on Film. Established in 1998.